The biggest comeback in Champions League history, or the moment a legend lost his head on the world stage. Quite literally, these are most shocking moments in football history. And first up, it's that night in 2014. No football fan can ever forget the 8th of July 2014. It was one of the darkest days in Brazilian football history. It shouldn't have ended up the way it did. See, guys, on home turf, Brazil wasn't just hosting the World Cup. They've done pretty well too. They've made it to the semifinals of the tournament, and despite losing star man Neymar through injury and captain Thiago Silva through suspension because they were at home, there was still a lot of belief that the country could go all the way. But first, they had to beat Germany. Germany, on the other hand, had been quietly going about their business in the competition. They'd already beaten the likes of Portugal in the group stage and France in the quarterfinals. But this Brazil team was supposed to be the acid test. Only by the time this one got to halftime, people couldn't quite believe what they were witnessing. Brazil 0, Germany 5. Yes, it happened. Germany eventually ran out 7-1 winners. It's still the biggest World Cup semifinal win of all time. And for Brazil, another dark day added to the list. The thing is, Brazil are no strangers to shocking moments like this, especially in this competition. They've been here before, and I'm talking about way back. This time, it was in 1950 and once again on home soil. Brazil was in the final stages of the competition. Only this time, they got into the final itself. They were up against Uruguay at the Maracanã. This final came with a couple of twists, though, because the World Cup back then isn't like it is now. At the time, the World Cup was played in the final group stage instead of a straight knockout matches. So whichever team topped the group at the end of the competition ultimately won. Brazil only needed to avoid losing to Uruguay. And on the flip side, Uruguay had to win if they wanted to be champions at home in a sellout crowd of over 173,000 fans. The odds were with Brazil to win the World Cup, but by full time, things had turned out differently. I'll see these guys go settled it. The underdogs, Uruguay, had beaten Brazil at the Maracanã to win the World Cup. The 2004 European Championships was full of some star-studded teams. The defending champions France, the likes of Italy, Germany, England, the Netherlands, and the host Portugal. All these teams were expected to go the distance, and one of them possibly all the way. As the hosts, Portugal have the added advantage of their home support, and they made the most of it. They made it to the final after beating the likes of England and the Netherlands in the knockout stages. But the real surprise was the team they were up against on the other side at Lisbon, Greece. No one had expected Greece to make it this far into the competition, but after beating the defending champions, France, in the quarterfinals, they made people sit up and take notes. Beat the Czech Republic in the semis, but against the host, Portugal, no one gave them a chance. But that was until they'd shocked the world. Angelos Kara steals goals, settled it. Greece had become champions of the continent for the first time and left the Portuguese players and the home support in tears. What's more shocking than a surprise result?